Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for May 6th, 2024, from the book of 1 Timothy, Guiding and Strengthening the Church, Paul's instruction to Timothy. Previously, we heard Paul provide Timothy with crucial guidance amidst the spiritual battles that Timothy faces. Paul reminded Timothy of Timothy's calling to the ministry, urging him to hold fast to faith and maintain a good conscience. Paul's cautionary example of those who had strayed from the path of righteousness serve as a teaching point that God's sovereignty in the midst of spiritual warfare is important, and that God's ability to turn even Satan's schemes to God's glory was taught. Overall, these verses offer timeless wisdom for believers as we navigate the spiritual warfare going on in today's world. That when we see the bad things happening, we realize God is in control. So we should remain faithful to God's holy word. So let's continue with 1 Timothy. From 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 1 and 2. First of all, then, I urge that supplications, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgivings be made for all people, for kings, and all who are in high positions, that we may lead a peaceful and quiet life, godly and dignified in every way. Paul now shifts his focus in his instructions to Timothy, directing Timothy to guide and strengthen the church, beginning with the topic of authority. Paul emphasizes the importance that authority plays, yet Paul also acknowledges Satan's efforts to distract from this instruction. Often, we may try to find many excuses to avoid praying for our leaders. We cite reasons like we didn't vote for them, or we disagree with them, or we don't think that they should be serving in that office, or they're not doing so to our satisfaction. However, whatever excuse we can come up with, the Bible clearly commands us to pray for them, recognizing their role in God's creation for our welfare. Despite their imperfections, leaders are necessary for the structure and functioning of society and the church. You see, recognizing our own imperfections, we are reminded of God's forgiveness and blessings. Thus, praying for our leaders is not only a command for our benefit, but also for our spiritual growth. Consider this. This extends to also leaders within the church, which include pastors. And we should be praying for our pastors regardless whether we are in agreement with them, understanding that pastors are equally flawed, as all Christians are. So we need to pray for them and for all church leaders, seeking their well-being for our Christian community and family. So Paul's guidance to Timothy regarding the importance of praying for leaders is something that we should also follow carefully. While Satan may seek to distract us from this essential practice, we are reminded of the biblical imperative to intercede for those in authority, ultimately through prayer and obedience to God's word. We contribute to the flourishing of our Christian community and the fulfillment of God's purposes. God's peace and many blessings be with you, and thank you for listening. And please take an opportunity to share this message with others. If you have enjoyed these daily devotions, please consider making a donation to Peace Lutheran Church, 24024 West Main Street, Plainfield, Illinois, 60544. Thank you again for listening.